Welcome back. So, this is going to be an easy one. First 3 mods. Check it out. So, I want this to be a pretty simple video, and the reason being is because we all do it differently, right? And so when I got the Bronco, everyone was like, well, what are you gonna do first? And when you get any vehicle, the Raptor, the Bronco, a Jeep, whatever your friends are into, obviously the first thing we do as humans is we wanna change it and make our own. That being said, mine are probably, even though I'm starting to develop a huge pile of stuff that we're gonna do to it, my first 3, which is the title of this video, would probably be, I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be the first 3 on your list. I guess what we'll do is we'll dig them out of the pile and we'll check it out. Okay. This is all the stuff that's finally starting to come in. I ordered a bunch of stuff through a bunch of different vendors, not any one particular. I'm not a super 100% stuck on saying that one vendor is the best at making everything, so this is all just different things. And I do, and I'm lucky enough to have some friends that are in the YouTube world that had some pre-Black Friday discounts, and I took advantage of some of that. Some of this stuff is Black Friday stuff. Anyway, it's all starting to show up, and so the irony of it is it's probably not the most important things that you guys would think of, but I'll explain to you why. So anyway, let's go. Okay, here they are. Okay. All right, here they are. So, the first 3 things. I've got 3 things here. Okay. My number 1 advice to anybody that hits the trail in an environment that's not just open desert, but has any kind of limbs, trees, brush, shrubbery, is going to be this. This is the stubby antenna. And if you don't know, you'll know now. So this is a very simple mod. I mean, anybody could do it. Simply, this is it. It's called the stubby, and that's it. This replaces our factory antenna. And do you know why? I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So that's our first one. Super simple upgrade, and you'll understand why. And it's a cheap upgrade, but here in a minute, you'll understand. The next thing is this. The screen in the Broncos, I have the 12-inch screen, is similar to like your iPad, iPhone, MacBook, anything that's got a very sensitive screen, touchscreen. So obviously, just like you do with your phone when you pick it up, the first thing you do with this Bronco, in my opinion, is get one of these. This will protect your glass. There are already people out there complaining and trying to figure out how to replace their screens and or their radio unit under factory warranty because it's been scratched. Things falling off the dash, things hitting it. Even people using rings have scuffed the screen. And so again, just like you do with your cell phone, do this with your Bronco. I mean, if you haven't done it, go do it now. I think this guy right here, it's a SpyGen anti-glare, and I bet you this guy was no more than, it was 12 to 20 bucks on Amazon. So I'll go ahead and link this, and I'll put it in the description. If you scroll down there, all those are clickable links. They're affiliate links. I get like cents on the dollar if you guys spend anything. But it's just easy because if you see it and you like it in the video, you can scroll down to the bottom, find it, and then click it, and it'll take you right to it. Anyway, that stereo, I believe, the face, they won't replace the face, they replace the whole unit. I think it's $2,000, and it's not covered under warranty. Number 3, and most important of the pet peeves I have for lots of vehicles these days, is this solution right here. This fixes that problem. What this is are cubby cover replacements. These are metal, And what they do is they extend the size of the actual storage compartment areas on your doors. And I know it doesn't seem like a big idea or that it could be very, very important, but in my doors and all my rigs, I carry so much important things. My radios, flashlights, quick grab knives, the keys to anything specific on the vehicle that I don't normally have unlocked. There's a small little med kit. Anyway, all of this stuff allows us to put them in there. Well, if you've owned a Jeep, if you've owned a Gladiator, and now if you own these things, you'll notice that what they put in the bottom is these nets. Well, what will happen is, after time of you stuffing things in there, they'll sag, and so every time you go to shut your door, everything will get crunched. I've broken cologne bottles, I've squished sunscreen in them, broken flashlights in the JL and in the Jeep Gladiator from doing that. So, not anymore. So, they come with front and rear. So this will immediately take away the need to have those. And these were made by, God, it's metal something. But I also got these on Amazon, and so I'll link these below. But it's a pretty simple part to make. It's standard stamped steel. It's very well actually powder coated, and so they simply, you unscrew the current ones you have now that are the net, and these screw in the same factory place and take up the space. And now you have that much more room. We'll jump into it when I show you. So let's get going. Okay guys, so this is what I was talking about. Pretty simple, right? Here's the part number for a Bronco. But super simple. This is the way you install it. And the reason why I was talking about this is my number one important thing is because if you go out in trails, and I like to go on tight trails, I don't complain about pinstriping. Is this a beautiful color? Yes. Will it be absolutely scratched to death? Yes. But that's what we buy these vehicles for. That being said, I do not shy away from really tight trails or thick overgrown trails, whatever, because that's where the adventure is. So that being said, what happens is these limbs will grab this thing. And not only will they slap your roof and the paint, which I'm not really worried about, but what they'll do is they'll do this. And thankfully, Ford was smart enough to replace the hard end with a piece of rubber, which I'll show you in 1 second. Right here, it's rubber. But original ones used to be a hard piece of metal. Now, I had ordered this before I got it. I still would go ahead and replace it just because of what happens. And so this is this is the install right here, right? You open it up, you pop it out, and watch this. Now do you see the difference, guys? You still pull in your AM channels, your FM channels, anything else that you use your radio for, but now look at that. Do you see the difference? A complete transformation, and now we don't have to worry about this thing whipping anything. The mirror, the paint, the hood, the windshield. That's why I do it. Tech 1. Okay, this is pretty simple. On the back you can identify it. It says auto display Ford 12-inch anti-glare. Pretty simple. Open it up. I mean, guys, this is just like doing one on your phone. A simple card that gives you the instructions. And then, you know, the pack, I mean, it's so funny that we're doing these for cars now, but the packs are just kind of like what you'd get for your phone. Here's a couple alcohol swabs. These are 2 dust removal pads. And then I believe this is going to be your little squeegee. Yep, that's what it is. So there's your hard squeegee for bubbles. And then this is just for smoothing it out, making it nice. And then what it says to do to apply it is to go ahead and hold the screen back up and then use the hard one for bubbles. So that's pretty simple. And of course it's in here. So let's go get set up in the truck, and then we'll go ahead and pull all this stuff free and put it in. How does that sound, guys? Okay. Oh. Isn't that awesome? I agree. I think it's awesome too. Anyway, so all you guys new to a Bronco, This has the Lux package, so I did get the big screen, and the reason why I did that is because of Apple CarPlay. I intend to still use probably an iPad in some situations, but for the most part, I think all the apps that I use, especially Onyx Off-Road and Gaia GPS, I'll be able to link directly to the screen. So that'll be a huge help. Nevertheless, let's get going. Okay, so I mean, it's simple. This is just like, you know, putting on a protective screen that goes into your phone. So let's start by cleaning the system, yeah? And that's just going to consist of an alcohol wipe, and we're just going to wipe it down to get all the oil off. Pretty simple stuff. Let's go ahead and see if we can push that accessory button. No key detected. Oh, my key is in here. So let's clean this up. And I've already had it on the trail, so it's already got a bunch of grime on it. And that's what I was worried about. I started getting stuff on my fingers when I was cleaning it and when I was using it. And so that's something I don't want to do, is I don't want to have that become an issue and actually scratch this thing. Maybe backlighting would help, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. I think we'll do it one more time. We'll go ahead and clean it one more time just to make sure, right guys? Like, because you don't want to do this a bunch of times, and you want it to sit and, you know, take the first time, because we all know after doing a phone a bunch of times that if you don't get it right on the first time, then it consistently like never lines up properly. And so I want it to just be good, and I think that looks good right there. So according to the directions, it says clean it up. Number 2, we're going to use the dust removal, and it's just a sticker, guys. It's kind of a weird deal, but I mean, I just kind of drag them, you know. You just want to get as much stuff off as I don't really see anything, but we did a really good job cleaning it. So then the next thing is we're going to pull the screen out, and we're going to pull the back film. Let's get to that point. Okay, there's those. Okay, so the way you'll know the back film is because this has 2 handles, and what you do with them is that's how you place it in position. So you simply fold them to where you can hold on to it like such, and then you can place it where it needs to go. So the back film in this case would be back here, and so you can see that it's illustrated with top, top, top. Okay, so just to be clear, it says go ahead and pull it all the way off, align it, and lay it down, and then use your squeegee. So what we'll do is we'll orientate it up. We'll try to hit both the top corners, and then lay it down slowly, taking all of it down to one last corner, and hopefully get all the air to that one last corner. That's what I'm going to shoot for, guys. So the hardest part when it comes to this stuff is the handles don't stick incredibly well. So it's really hard to do. So let's get this guy out of our way. And what we're going to do is we're going to just try to go upright. And I'm leaning with no stickiness down. Okay? Basically, I've got the stickiness up, so then I can start rolling it in place just like that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. That went down really, really well.
Look at this. That's pretty neat right there, guys. So, and then I'm just gonna walk everything to the edges, right? And all we're doing is we're just making sure that, you know, anything that's back there that we don't see, I mean, I think there is some, but I can't tell real well. I think there's one right in the middle. Right in there. No, I can't see it. Do you see one, guys? Oh, I do. Okay, we got that one. Here's another one. I don't know if you guys can see these, but they're just minute little guys, and I'm able to just force them with this right out. Now, if you get some that this will not work, this soft pad, it's got a soft teeth on it right here, or soft edge, lip, whatever you want to call it. So you can take this guy, which is really hard, and help them. It can help you move these guys. See, I'm using both hands, and I was able to walk that guy right on out of there. Okay, so I've got two more. And just be, you know, just take your time. There's no reason to, you know, haul butt through it. Where is it at? Oh, there's one right there. And once you get them moving, they just start going. It's crazy. Ingenious. And that's it. And believe me now, we have a protected screen. And now the way, unfortunately, because it's black on black, it's hard to tell, but it looks as if we've got it clear. Let me see. It looks as if we did, guys. So I'm gonna go with the check. I think we're good. Moving on. Okay guys, so I think now you see the last one of my pet peeves. And this is a really simple job. You know, any kind of impact with the T30 hex head bit takes these out. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. So obviously here's my hand. And my hand is already bumping this net. So you can see that there's very little room to put anything in there. Another thing about it is you see how flexible this stuff is. Well, when you start adding stuff, it starts doing this and hanging out. And then what you have is eventually this is just super stretched and it just looks unsightly. So with this guy, what's neat is you can see they're all individual packaged, but what you can see is it's a complete replacement. And now I think you can see the difference in space it provides versus what's there now. Not to mention it gives yourself a little ruggedness and a rugged look as well, but you can see that it's really well powder coated, it's shaped, it's crest formed, so it's not going to ever lose its shape. So let's just knock this thing out. So again, for ease of operation, T30 hex, and we're just going to zip these out. I won't do them all because obviously it's going to be pretty self-explanatory, but we're just going to take these guys out. Just like that. And you basically, there's no basically, you just repeat these steps all the way around. And that's all it is, guys. For all the great things that Ford did, this is really an undersight. I mean, I don't know if you can see the type of material, but it's just not something that would last the test of time. I know 100% of fact that it would end up stretching out, and you can see the holes get huge, everything would be falling out. This is just not on par with the fit and finish of the rest of this vehicle. So let's get rid of them. And I think now you guys understand why I wanted to replace them. So this is pretty simple going back in. we're just gonna start that so it'll kind of hold the guy. And we'll start one on the other side, so it'll hold it over there. And then once we do that, we'll roll them all in. And I mean, that's a metal brad in the back of that, so you can you don't get super butch with them, but just give them a little, right? So where's the next one? I mean, that's solid. It really is. It's impressive. Impressive, Ford. Wow, look at that. Look at the difference now, guys. And I've got one, there's one of these for every door. So you can see why now I felt like it was a big upgrade and one of the first 3 upgrades we did. I think I'll go ahead and knock all the rest of these out and then we'll close up this video. Okay guys, so that's it. The mods are done. I know they seem small, but for me, they're a very functional use for the vehicle every day. Those cubbies on the sides will prove their worth in gold because I like to stuff a lot of stuff in those so that it's readily available. Tire deflators, knives, flashlights, med kits, stuff like that, radios. And then again, the small antenna, so I don't want a broken windshield for other than a rock or something like that, you know, so that's it as well. And then protecting that screen. I told you guys it's about $2,000, so why not invest the $20 or $12, I can't remember what it was, in it. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below what your first 3 mods were, what you think is important. We have stuff coming for this vehicle from Heretic Studios, Lethal Performance, Baja Kits, big suspension upgrades. We have stuff from Ford Performance, Heretic Studios. There's a lot in store for this guy, so make sure you check back. We'll have videos every week. We're gonna video and document everything we do to this guy, so you guys know exactly, wonder why I do things and why exactly I do them. Well, I'll give you the idealism behind why I picked what I picked and what we're gonna do with it, because this is gonna be a multi-use vehicle. Remember, we're also gonna do a huge upgrade. I've already reached out to Ursa Minor. I think that that's what we're gonna do, and I think you guys will be excited to see it. Anyway, comments, remember to like, share, subscribe. Also, I do have a Patreon if you guys ever feel inclined. Other than that, make sure you click the like button. It's not even just to give me warm fuzzies and hugs. It makes the YouTube algorithm understand that you guys want to see lots of fresh, up-to-date overlanding and Bronco-based gear. Anyway, Bronco Nation, shout out to them. We'll see you in the next one. See you guys.